Justice is due. Viewers, these are the last words of a 34-year-old Bengaluru Techie. His name Atul Subash, who has left a 1-hour, 22-minute dying declaration along with a 24-page suicide note, narrating his ordeal as he faced at least 9 known cases filed by his wife, demanding an alimony of 3 crores after leaving on her own accord and accusing him of dowry. In the note, Atul details that his estranged wife accused him of murder after a father died of a prolonged illness, and how she not only refused to let him meet their child but also made him out to be an extorter in a domestic violence case, which was eventually withdrawn after she said in her cross-examination that she doesn't remember filing it.
मुझे खुद को ही खत्म कर लेना बेस्ट है मेरे लिए, क्योंकि जो मैं पैसे कमा रहा हूँ उसी से मैं अपने दुश्मन को बलवान बना रहा हूँ। वही पैसे मुझे ही बर्बाद करने के लिए यूज है, और ये साइकिल बढ़ता ही रहेगा, है ना। मेरे ही टैक्सेस के पैसे से ये कोर्ट, ये पुलिस सिस्टम मुझे और मेरी फैमिली को और बाकी लोगों को भी हैरास करेगा, जो अच्छे लोग। तो जो सप्लाई है वैल्यू का, उसी को खत्म कर देना चाहिए। और एनीवे gave me a suggestion क्या they told me to commit suicide, and I think they are right. That's the right solution what they've suggested me. इसी के साथ मैं ये वीडियो बंद करता हूँ। अब जो थोड़े बहुत जो मेरे आखिरी काम है कंप्लीट करके मैं मुक्ति पाना चाहूंगा। इससे मैं अपने माँ बाप भाई से अलग से उनसे बात करूंगा, लिख कर। हो सके तो माफ करना, जिस उम्र में मुझे अपने मम्मी पापा का सहारा बनना था, उस उम्र में उन्हें हमेशा के लिए दुख देके जा रहा हूँ ऐसा, तो सॉरी। और बाकी आप लोग जो देख रहे हैं सब आपका कल्याण हो। थैंक यू।
मेरा बेटा चला गया पूरे देश के लिए करके,
तो शहीद हो गया है। जैसे भगत सिंह अपने फांसी पर चढ़ शहीद हो गया। इतने लोगों को कानून व्यवस्था के बारे में बता के, जो अपने भारत की कानून व्यवस्था है उसके बारे में बताया है, जो रिश्वत लेने वाली समस्या उसके बारे में बताया है।
मेरा बच्चा चला गया।
जागृत
Family members of Atul Subash, still begging for justice. They remain hopeful. Let's open this up. Ishtaran Bhandari joins us. Barthat Rehan, activist. Rekha Agarwal is a lawyer. Pranesh Roy is also an advocate. She completes the panel. Ishtaran, this video and the suicide note, 24 pages, all of it has gone viral. Your first take on what do we have?
My first take on this is there was a time I used to do a lot of matrimonial cases. Last few years, I left doing those cases. The reason is very evident, because nowadays, rather than laws protecting women, we are seeing how they are being weaponized. And what weaponization of laws does is it denies relief to genuine cases, because a lot of times courts look at it skeptically. And when it is weaponized, it can absolutely destroy a person. It is given under the misnomer of women protective laws. But India, there are families living together. So if you file a case on a person, a man, of course it affects his mother, his sister, who are also dragged into the court. Very often, married sisters who are not living together with the husband or the wife, who are separating or fighting in court, they also get dragged into the court. Not only a married sister, a husband also gets dragged into the court. And the law gave certain presumptions. Not only these laws, we have a lot of sexual assault laws. So laws gave certain presumptions in favor of women because it felt that they need support. But those presumptions, if they are used by unscrupulous litigants, become a burden where a man is in a sense presumed guilty and has to run from. For example, in effect, if one person, and this is the case, lives in Bengaluru, the other person lives in India of UP, the man on every hearing will have to go to a case in Uttar Pradesh. There could be multiple cases. How do you carry on with your life if you have to go 2,000 or 1,000 kilometers away twice a month? It is impossible for you to have a functioning. It can affect how your brain thinks. The other aspect which is extremely important in this is, and which I feel is lacuna, even if it is proved there are false statements made, there is perjury committed, there is outright forgery committed, documents are being filed, Unfortunately, in India, we do not take it seriously. Unfortunately, in India, we have this attitude that let us not take action on perjury or documents because it will result in a new fresh case and judiciary is already burdened. So what happens is there is zero consequence of lying.
Right.
Effectively zero consequence of lying, which of course will encourage you to lie because if you win, you get a huge alimony or lump sum settlement, or you have these settlements outside the court, which are the amounts are not known, and the cases get caught. So not taking action on perjury or false affidavits or fabrication, as well as the certain inherent protection to women under the laws, which is exploited, has resulted in today a very dangerous cocktail of these laws, where this is just one case. People who are fighting on the ground for men's rights or these issues will give you a list of cases. This, because it is written in a language which is understandable by people, probably
Right.
a person whom media can relate to. That is why media is covering it. But daily these stories are going on. Daily these tragedies are going on. Maybe not in this language, maybe not detailed like this, but as bad, if not worse, cases are happening. And this case, as the parents were saying, what a horrid thing for parents to say, that maybe this will shine certain light on these things and lead to certain reform, which I hope it does. I will end by saying this is a law which wanted to rape in India. In Indian context, that effectively mean every divorce case is a rape case going forward. And frankly, I'm very happy the government has taken a stand against it and filed an affidavit, which was not an easy affidavit to file in current environment. But these are the challenges we are facing, and I hope this leads to certain balancing of equities, balancing of laws, where you look at things with a fair perspective, not with the presumption that one party is guilty and the other party is innocent.
Right. Barthat Rehan, will anything change?
Very, very sad to know that so many cases, just now Ishkaran told you that men's rights activists can tell you so many cases on daily basis. Men are being harassed badly. Their lives have been ruined. Here, Atul Subash, a 34-year intelligent boy who was working for the GDP of the country, had to take his life. How helpless he might be. See in his video, he's sounding so helpless that he didn't get any option rather than opting suicide. Though I never think that suicide is an option. But you blame, you harass the whole family, you drag the whole family to the courts, the sisters, the extended family, the parents. These sons leave their parents and come to different places of the country, just like Bangalore, to earn their livelihood, not get tortured by wives. And see the audacity. What is she saying? Mare nahi tum abhi tak. This is so shocking. This is so inhuman. How can a person be so inhuman?
Right.
First of all, the woman is working in Accenture. She is an able-bodied woman. Why is she becoming a parasite? Still he is giving her maintenance. But she is still so greedy. And not only greedy, she wanted to murder this man.
Is this
Atul Subash has
just
been
greed
murdered. It
or
is
failure
not a
of the
suicide.
system? Talish
When is she-
Ray, what do you think this is?
So if you ask me, I think overall there are various loopholes that are there in the system, and those loopholes are typically exploited because of the fact that there is a lack of clarity in some of the various laws that are there. Where there is a lack of clarity even today is about the right of either parent as a child support program as well as visitation that even currently exists, even though high courts like Mumbai of Madhya Pradesh as well as Himachal have adopted a comprehensive plan which actually gives clarity year by year. This is the time that will be divided between the parents, and that is the way it will go by looking into various reports that have come in from counselors and other things. The number two fact that is leading to this kind of lacuna is also the non-recognition of a fact that marriage today is not exactly a sacramental value. It is currently seen as something which is a lifestyle that is adopted by people, and some may look at it as something that can be
Miss Ray, marriage or no marriage, this is, I mean, no human being should suffer this.
No, there is no question about the fact that any human being deserves to lose a life because of any process of court. Please understand that. And there is no condoning it. But there is also the need to look at solutions. And those solutions will emerge when there are loopholes that are fixed within the system. So I'm merely identifying.
Can these loopholes ever be fixed, Rekha Agarwal? This is not the first time, that a case of this nature has come up.
It's extremely unfortunate what has happened, no doubt. But I heard the other speakers also. No doubt the scenario at the moment, especially after this very, very sad case, does give the impression that the laws are totally lopsided and that they're totally pro-women. It does give the impression that women are exploiting and misusing the laws. Having said that, be that as it may, it is true that, that these laws are being misused by a particular section of the society. Some women are misusing them. With a vengeance, they are filing these cases. But at the same time, let us not forget the fact that there was a very noble reason as to why these laws were enacted in the first place. Let us talk about Section 498A. There was a time when many, many women, just after marriage, they used to be literally murdered, and there would be no justice to the girl or to her family, and it would be passed off as an accident. That is why Section 498A of dowry deaths was introduced. Then after that, domestic violence, there was no law to protect women from domestic violence, and it was passed off as something कि हर घर में ऐसे झगड़े होते हैं, and women had no say at all. They had no forum where they could make a complaint except unless they go and file a divorce case. So I do agree that now a trend has become, now that we are seeing repeatedly in the courts, and particularly in this case of Atul, that women are misusing the laws, but there may be, these may be a few percentage, as they say that one rotten apple cannot spoil the whole basket. So yes, certain women are misusing it, but at the same time, what is unfortunate is that it is these kind of women who have access to law, access to lawyers, who end up misusing.
Dr. Ranganathan, I am leaving you with the last word on the show. What killed Atul Subash? Will he get justice?
Pranesh, at the outset, my sincere condolences to the bereaved. It's an absolutely terrible tragedy. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know how to say, but still I'll make a couple of points. The first one is it's always terrible to see a non-existential suicide, by which I mean is that the state is to blame for it, either which way. So as a citizen, whenever I see a non-existential suicide, I feel absolutely rotten to the core. I feel as a system we have failed this person, which is true. Number two, I am not going to make my judgment one way or the other, as my good friend Barkhaji has made, because I simply haven't heard the other point of view, that of the female. So it would be not right for me to make my decision one way or the other, whether she is a parasite or whatever the words were used there. Number two. Number three, as far as my good friend Ishkaran is concerned, because he is a wonderful lawyer and a dear friend, I like to ask him, Ishkaran, is this a bad law or has this law been used badly? Because the two things are different. Yes, there is a miscarriage of justice. There might be. But does that mean that there is injustice at the first place? A law can be good and still be misused. As the family lawyer just said before me, if a law has been made and if it is bad in writing, bad in practice, by all means change it. But if somebody is exploiting a law, which is a good law, in other words, I would like to know what you meant when you said the law is being weaponized. How can law be weaponized? If it's a good law, then by virtue of it being a law,
we don't have much time on the show. Ishtaran, quickly.
Anand, when I was talking about weaponization of laws, I was talking about so many cases where these sexual assault laws, they have given certain presumptions. And you see how organized gangs are using them. Or in today's day and age, people married at the age of 35, having kids, coming out and saying a breach of promise results in a rape case. So all that weaponization, because the law presumed to give support to women, it needed to give. In 80s, I completely agree. In 80s, marriage was considered differently. The concept of open society was different. The concept that nobody will come and make a false allegation was there, because that was the societal reality. Is that the societal reality today, and how society is behaving, how marriages are being conducted, how affairs are
Unfortunately,
being conducted?
we've run out of time. Ishtaran, Dr. Ranganathan, Barkha Trehan, Rekha Agarwal and Talish Ray. We hope that, this discussion doesn't end here with the show and that justice is done. Because justice is due were his last words in that 24-page suicide note. Viewers, thanks for watching the News Hour with Navika Kumar on the other side.